Ever since Hillary Clinton's devastating and embarrassing loss to Donald Trump, outgoing Democratic Minority Leader Reid has blamed everybody else. He's blamed Putin. He's blamed the Russians, like whoever the Russians are. He's blamed Comey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't blamed Bernie Sanders yet.
Well, actually, that would make more sense because, you know, during the primaries, Bernie Sanders was the primary facilitator in regards to talking about Hillary Clinton and her kind of unethical connections.
He's the one that educated a lot of people about who Hillary Clinton was.
He was delivering some body shots and some, you know, some blows to Hillary. You know what I'm saying?
So much so that David Brock, who runs Correct the Record, had to
tone it down. Tone it down. You're hurting Hillary Clinton. And Bernie Bros. Remember that?
Yeah, all of that. Yeah. But so, I guess he hasn't gotten around to that yet. He hasn't gotten around to that.
Yeah, if anything, it would make more sense that, you know, the Russians collaborated with Bernie Sanders because he did a lot of damage.
I hope I hear that. I hope I hear that story. But so not Comey, but Harry Reid was being interviewed on CNN recently, and it was filled with just ludicrous statements that he made, comical statements he made.
He was all over the place.
All over the place, and like we said, it was all in an effort to blame anybody not named Hillary Clinton. So let's start off with the first clip.
There were also even then reports of Russia messing around. We knew they'd hacked the DNC, and there was talk then about what are they doing to affect the election. Remember, they didn't leak one single thing they got from the RNC. They were leaking stuff out through WikiLeaks. And so I thought it was important to put the FBI in notice, do something about it. I wrote in August, and the FBI director didn't have the decency, the courtesy to even respond to my letter.
Aww.
They have the decency to respond to my letter.
Oh, golly gee willikers.
Filled with all this, you know, information about the Russians.
He felt it necessary to contact the FBI to do something. I mean, to do something about what was going on. Because obviously the Russians were behind all of this hacking and delivering it to the to WikiLeaks.
And you notice how he mentioned is like nothing about, you know, nothing, the RNC didn't get released.
That's right.
So he's essentially saying that the basis for his argument is because they released information about Hillary Clinton, it must be the other side.
It must be in an effort to help Donald
Trump automatically.
Right.
They looked into nothing.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's obvious he was a partisan in all this.
Comey.
Yeah, part of Comey, yes. It's obvious. There's information out there. He had it, I'm confident, and he ignored it. And we know from other reports we've seen from all you guys, there were reports in the people in the campaign for Donald Trump were in touch with the Russians. And now it's very clear. One of the biggest mysteries that people think exists, why didn't he do something? No, there's no mystery to me.
He's confident.
He's confident
that it's out there.
So that's why he requested that he do something about it.
He do something.
He's confident
about information that he's confident about. That's
an interesting choice of words.
That's very interesting. That kind of says he hasn't really seen anything definitive.
No.
He's just confident that it exists. So let's look at the logic behind this letter. He's demanding that Comey launch an investigation because of information that he knows is out there.
He's just suspecting that it's there. And he's like, dog, look, Comey, you need to do something about this stuff that I think is happening.
And I know you have the information too. I don't know this, but
I know it.
I know it. I know you have this information, so launch this investigation right now.
He's saying that his instincts are that superior.
Okay, my thing is like, so why is he so butthurt like that he didn't get a response, you know, from his letter? You know what I'm saying? Why is he so butthurt? Because he didn't have any information in the letter. He just said, Comey, I know you got something, dog. I know you got something.
He's saying, so it's obvious Comey was partisan. It was obvious because he didn't get a reply from Comey, so he was partisan.
He was obviously no, you didn't get a reply from Comey because you didn't have anything yourself.
Yeah.
You just assumed that he knew what you thought you knew.
And he also threw in the media. He threw in the media. Like, he was talking about how it was all over the media. Really? Hold on. So are you telling me that the media, whatever the media says, is factual?
Well, actually, it's that awkward moment when CNN's propaganda comes home to roost. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you guys. It was you guys. I was like, easy on the point. It was y'all.
Wow. Next clip.
The stuff that I've learned in my briefings has appeared in the press many, many times. I wrote that to Comey because I thought he should do something.
You mentioned ties between coordination between the Trump campaign allegedly and the Russian government. You mentioned this in an October letter. You had said that to Comey. You said to Comey that you possess explosive information about close ties and coordination between Trump and the Russian government. What are you basing that assertion on?
If anyone can read the English language, all they have to do is read the press. It has nothing to do with briefings I've had from the intelligence community, period.
Wow. Wow. You know, did you realize what just happened, right? He was asked the same question, but in a different way. He said, the stuff I learned in my briefings has been pretty much the same stuff the media has been saying.
Correct.
That's what he was using as the basis of his argument.
Yeah.
In this part.
For Comey to
investigate. Then he was asked the same question, just in a different way. And he said, it has nothing to do with the briefings.
It has everything to do with what the media has been reporting.
He said it has nothing to do with the briefings from the intelligence community. It's the media. Well, wait a second. You just said the briefings matched up
Yes.
with what the media was saying. Then in your next breath, you say it has nothing to do with the briefings.
Yes.
Which is it?
So obviously, like we said before,
it has nothing to do with nothing.
Obviously, like we said before, he ain't seen nothing. He has no evidence that Comey or the Russians were behind anything. He has no evidence. He's just saying that I know it's fact. So Comey, you should do something about it.
And he just said, I know. He pretty much said, I know Comey has seen it too. I know Comey has something. I know he has something.
He was asked a straightforward question about what prompted you to send this letter and why do you know that Comey has this information? And he responded with, look at what you guys have been reporting. So think about how uncomfortable that is. We're to assume that a United States senator is less informed than the media.
And the United States senator is using the media.
Oh gosh.
Using the media to form his opinion on whether the FBI should launch an investigation.
Over his reports from the intelligence community.
But he just said it had nothing to do with...
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the intelligence
community.
It had all to do with the media.
It had all to do with the media, which says he ain't received any kind of information from any briefing. It's obvious that Comey ignored information that Reid hadn't seen himself. That's obvious. So I don't know, what you mad for? You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare Comey?
How dare him?
How dare he?
And he's partisan because he ignored this invisible information. He's partisan. He said he had explosive information.
But his explosive information just came purely from the press. By his own admission.
From the press.
This is embarrassing. This is an embarrassing segment for Reid because he said about a bunch of nothing. It was a nothing sandwich.
A big bag of nothing.
I mean, with not 1 ounce of introspection.
So, I mean, just to be clear, are you saying that the Russian government was in fact trying to steer this election to Donald Trump?
My opinion is yes, and we got no basis in fact from the FBI. They ignored it.
So do you think that Trump in any way is an illegitimate president because of the Russian involvement?
No, I've never said that. No, I've never said it. Of course, I wish someone else had won, even though Hillary's going to get about 3 million more votes than he did, and we have a system, electoral college system, and he won. We accept that.
You see, those two responses didn't match up at all.
This actually contradicts the entire segment.
Yeah. Because if he's saying that Russia, in fact, did something to propel Trump, right?
And engage in something illegal.
Yeah, nefarious, right? To help Trump, to seal Trump's victory. Why isn't he ready to go as far as to say that Trump is an illegitimate president?
Why is he doing the interview?
Exactly.
Why is he doing the interview in the first place?
Why is he doing it?
Because if all that stuff was true, wouldn't that make Trump illegitimate?
Yes. If if whatever Russia did was
catapulted Trump to the presidency.
Yeah, and engaged in falsehoods, just spread lies about Hillary Clinton, and turned the American people against Hillary Clinton, that means that Trump won not fair and square.
Exactly. So
he would be illegitimate.
For Reid to say Trump is not an illegitimate president is almost saying that the information that Russia supposedly released about Hillary Clinton is true.
Factual.
It's true.
Yes. So why is he here?
Why is, like I said, why is he doing this interview?
In your opinion, would Trump have won this race if Russia did not get involved?
All I know is that Russia helped a lot. Those WikiLeaks coming out, drip, 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 hurt her. And Comey helped Trump significantly. A week before the election, he came out and with this, we found some more emails. And as a result of that, we lost Senate seats, and I think we lost the presidency.
So you think Comey single-handedly swayed this election to Clinton and kept Republicans in control of the Senate?
Well, I might say single-handedly, but for him, I'll say single-handedly. Had he not written that letter a week or so before the election, she would have won. We would have picked up at least 2 more Senate seats.
Drip, drip, drip. Information keeps pouring out. But what was interesting about that little segment was him indicating that it wasn't so much the Russians that catapulted Donald Trump to the presidency. It was Comey. Comey
single-handedly.
Yes, single-handedly pretty much gave the presidency to Donald Trump. He said he knows for a fact that if Comey had not released the information like a week, I think it was like 10 days, something like that, before the election. If he had not released that information that there were some new emails, that they would have picked up 2 other Senate seats.
But what about the information though?
The information was not released by Comey. It was released by Jason Chaffetz, a Republican, a House of Representatives Republican. He released it saying that, look, we just got some information from the FBI saying that there's some additional emails that may pertain to Hillary Clinton's server.
And then what did Comey say?
Comey said that it was improbable that this whole thing would be settled, that they would be able to get through all the emails and settle it before the election. And then they settled it before the election. And said that there's not going to be any charges for Hillary Clinton. This is pretty much nothing.
If anything, you could say that Comey was trying to help Clinton out.
Yeah, because they did a really speedy job, didn't they? Got through all of it in timely fashion so as to remove anything hanging over her head when the election finally took place. But it's still Comey's fault single-handedly. It's his fault. And had he not done this, again, they would have picked up 2 Senate seats. The Democrats would have picked up 2 Senate seats, and Hillary Clinton would have won the election. How can he say that as fact? How can he say that as fact? He acts like Hillary Clinton was up a mountain on Trump.
Actually, during the primaries, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were polling pretty close together before the general took off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
he's making it sound like, Clinton was going to win in a landslide.
Yeah, it was fact, and they would have picked up 2 Senate seats.
Since he trusts the media so much, maybe he was looking at those numbers. Because Huffington Post said Hillary Clinton had like an 88% chance of winning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? CNN, I was like over 90 something. So
I think 538 had her at, I think the final one was in the 70s, 70%, something like that. Final one. Months before it was in the 90s, like you were saying.
So, I mean, if you're going to blame someone single-handedly, I mean, you could blame Clinton, but you can blame the entire apparatus that was backing Clinton too. But
Yeah.
I didn't hear him mention, any of that stuff. It was just like, WikiLeaks, Trump, Russia, Putin, Scooby-Doo. I mean,
she responded at one of the debates with Donald Trump. She responded to a question about what had been released through John Podesta's emails about her private and public position. She responded to a question about that. Now, she gave a bullshit answer, but she responded to it. So she took the question as though it was fact, right? Like that it was actually her words that were being spoken, and she, like I said, she took a question about it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, all this has to do with factual information that they didn't want being released about Hillary Clinton.
We've said this so many times. Like, if the information was infactual, then why not take the time to debunk it?
You wouldn't answer a question about it and assume that it's fact. And like I said, answer the question. You wouldn't do that. You would say, I never said that.
I mean, we're a month away. We're a month following the election.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't come up with anything more poignant.
No. All they refuse to smell their own shit. They refuse to do that. It's not their problem. It's not their fault either. It's everybody else's fault. This is Harry Reid just trying to save face and just trying to paint a picture that the Democrats, the election was stolen from them. Unjustly stolen from them.
But not so much to make Trump illegitimate.
No, he's not illegitimate. It was just stolen from the Democrats unfairly. Like that makes sense.